Right guys, welcome back. This is just going to be a quick one before I move on past this situation, because I'm done now. And what I mean by that is, you've probably seen my latest short what I put out there. So for those that didn't see it, basically in my pond I'm down to just 5 fish now. Out of the 12 or 13 fish that I had, I'm down to 5. The 5 what's left in my pond now, none of them have got any signs of any infections. Now the ones what are gone, a couple on them, 2 or 3 on them are lost through natural, well, not natural causes, but they succumbed to infection. It did them in. The others, I euthanized them. Top and bottom on it, I euthanized them. Now, a quick thing that I want to address is a few people have said to me, quarantine them, these infected fish, quarantine them, do this with them, do that with them, treat them with some in water. Now that's all well and good, but there's just one thing that I don't quite think people are understanding about this kind of bacteria. And again, I'm not an expert on this, but I spoke to expert. Spoke to Paula multiple occasions about this. You know, when you're talking to someone, bloody thing always happens. When you're talking to someone that's probably one of, if not the best aqua microbiologist in country, then you tend to pluck your ears open and listen to what she's got to say, if you want to get through the situation that you're in. So yeah, this bacteria what I've had in my fish has got, or did get, into the fish. Right now, once this bacteria gets into your fish, then no amount of external treatments, chemicals or anything like that is going to help them. Okay, so the only way to treat those fish is with antibiotic, and that's just top and bottom on it. So no amount of quarantining, putting them in a vat or whatever would have helped those fish. As you know, I did try the antibiotic route, and Baytril was suggested as my go-to medication to treat this infection. That was reported to be the most sensitive antibiotic to treat it. Now, with the discussions that I've been having with Paula, we've come to the conclusion that basically what's gone off in my pond is very quickly this bacteria has become antibiotic resistant, and that's just top and bottom on it. So we're out using a different antibiotic to try to kill the bacteria. Everything else is pointless. Okay, now as you know, one fish I did treat with amikacin, and I only had enough of that to treat one fish, and I did treat that fish with amikacin, which was the Hodgkin shower that had an hole in its head, and that fish, or the hole in its head, did heal up, but a couple of days later it started showing signs of infection on its fins. So that were it for me. As soon as I seen other fish coming up with different things, I said to myself, well, those fish, it's time to get them out. It's, you know, I was at that point then, it's just time to get rid. So another thing what I want to make clear is with this bacteria, it's not the bacteria itself that does the damage to the fish, because Aeromonas is always in your water, it's always in your pond. It's just keeping it at low levels to stop it becoming a problem. Because what happens is the bacteria releases enzymes, and these enzymes land on the fish's skin. And if it gets to a point where these enzymes manage to break through the tissue of the fish and break all the proteins down on the fish's skin, it creates holes in the body. Once it creates those holes in the body through the tissue and things like that, that's when the bacteria strikes. Because the fish is weak, the bacteria strikes into the fish, and that's when shit hits fan. So, and that's what's been happening in my pond. It's got into the fish, it's got into a bloodstream. No amount of chemicals, once it's got to that point, would have helped the fish. If I'd have, now I do partly blame myself. I'm not saying now I'm not at fault here, because I know I am. I could have prevented this from ever happening just by keeping a closer eye, keeping a closer check on my filters, which, you know something, I think what I've succumbed to is the drum filter curse. And what I mean by that is, you get a drum filter in and you think, I've got a drum filter, I don't need to do out. But it's not the case, is it? Now before I had this pond, I had another pond before this, and I had that pond for 10-11 years. Obviously you guys didn't see that pond because I went on YouTube then. Now I've only been on YouTube, what, I don't know, a couple of years, something like that. So you guys never saw the pond what I had previously. And with that pond, never ever had a problem with it. But I was constantly maintaining my filters, because there wasn't a self-cleaning filter on that pond. So I was constantly, cleaning it out, checking it all the time. So like I say, I think ultimately I just succumbed to totally relying on having a drum filter to do the work for me. Yeah, and like I say, I just never had a problem with that pond, with my old pond. Well, when I say never had a problem, parasites, you deal with them over years, but just general koi keeping with old pond, dealing with parasites and looking after your water and things like that, they're things you pick up, as basics. But when it comes to things like bacterial issues, it's a totally different ball game, and I've never experienced it before. It's just a different avenue of the hobby. In fact, it's not even on the same avenue, it's on a totally different street. And like I say, you just, when you come into this problem, you just learn a whole lot about it. So yeah, it is my fault. I know the people aren't going to say don't blame yourself, but ultimately it is my fault. The fish's welfare, it's down to you ultimately. Now obviously I can't say 100% fact that this came about through not maintaining the filter properly. I can't say that. No one can say that, because I can't 100% say that it didn't come from a fish. I don't know whether it came from a fish or not. I don't know whether it came from not fully maintaining the filter. Now when I say I've not been maintaining filters properly, I'm not talking I've been letting it go to shit, because obviously I have been maintaining it maintaining it to a degree. My drum filter, okay, that'll clean itself, but even still, it still allows small particles to pass through it and get into your moving bed. We sort of state of that. Backy shower, that's the point. On backy shower, media's gone in that and all. So my backy shower now, there's no media in it whatsoever, because when I took that media out, the shower is not fed from my drum filter. It comes from skimmer. Again, my fault, because the skimmer goes straight to the shower, but I do know there's other people that does that pump straight over the shower without a filter in between it, and I'm sure you guys know that there's other people that do that. But when I looked in that shower, I'm not saying shit, because they weren't physically feces in shower or like that, but just gunk, you know, what skimmers pulled in and pushed over the shower, and yeah, it were rank. So that's all gone. That will probably harbouring bad bacteria, so I've took all media out of there. So now my shower is purely acting as another return, really. It pulls it through skimmer, pulls water through skimmer, through pump, straight back over at shower. So it's just acting as another return. So that's one less place for crap to harbour in my system. I know that my moving bed filter's now not going to harbour any muck, and I know my drum filter's not going to harbour any muck. And my drains, they get flushed every week when I do a water change. I haven't got my trickle running at the minute, because I need to sort out my drain for outside, because it's just good to outside a minute, but it's starting to make a mess at garden, so I've turned it off. So yeah, I mean, you know, that's pretty much what I want to say, guys. I've got 5 fish left in my pond. Those fish seem clean. They're not showing any signs of any infections. If I keep spinning around, I'm going to send you dizzy. But no, we'll go out and we'll have a look, see what's left. So we've got, let's have a look. It does look empty. It is sad, but at the same time, I've said this to a couple of people, it is sad. I'm gutted that it ever got to this point, but at the same time it feels like a bit of a relief, because until you've gone through this, guys, you really don't know what it does to you. But now it means I can focus on fish what seem healthy. So what's going to be happening now, guys, is I'm just going to be sitting on my hands. I'm just going to be sitting and watching for a while, and that's all I can do until I know for sure that I'm past this. I want to be past it, but until a bit of time's passed, I'm just not going to be 100% certain. So these guys are just going to sit in here now. 5 fish, they've got pond to themselves. They're at 24 degrees. They're being fed sake curry. they've just got room to eat and grow. The water quality is good. Yeah, my filters are clean. My drains are clean. So yeah, just gonna have to keep an eye on them now, guys, and hopefully we passed it. Them chagos definitely liking the fact that there's a few less fishing pond eating machines. I will be taking Paula's advice as well on using CT in the pond a couple of times, chloromelain T. I'll be using that a couple of times. and I'm just gonna have to let it, just leave it like I say, and let it do what it's got to do. Now, whether I decide to go through a heat ramp situation yet where I'll lower at temperature and then bring it back up, I don't know yet. I mean, Paula did have a point when I mentioned it to her. This time of year it's going to be quite difficult to do that, because at temperature, you know, trying to lower your pond temperature down to the point it needs to be at in this heat, it's hard work. So I might end up having to leave it to do it naturally and just let it go through a full year recycling itself, going through a natural winter and then coming back up to temperature naturally in spring and summer. And then that way I'll know for sure whether I'm past it or not. So there's not going to be any more fish going in. I've got what I've got now. And like I say, I've got what I've got because it's my fault. I'm in no two minds about that. So that's it, guys. Just wanted to bring you that, let you know where I'm at. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. Next time you'll probably see me, it'll be at Coventry. I'm gonna just go and enjoy the fish, enjoy other people's fish. Get jealous of people buying fish. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it because, to be honest with you, I need something to cheer me up and yeah, just see some nice fish on display. So right, that's it, guys. I'm out. Catch you in a bit. See you at show.